Sushruta for NEET is now available on the Google Play Store. Try it out for free.
Hi everybody, hearty welcome to biology class. In the last class, we are studying about the various types of adaptations. We are looking into morphological adaptations, physiological adaptations, shown by both the plants and animals. Now, we shall look into the continuation of that particular part. Some organisms possess adaptations that are physiological, which allow them to respond quickly to a stressful situation. That means when a new condition, new situation arises, somehow they manage. At the beginning, they feel it difficult. Later, they get adjusted due to that. This is what we say. They get adapted gradually to a new situation, even though at the beginning they feel it very difficult. If you had ever been to any high altitude place, that is more than 3,500 feet, like Rohtang Pass near Manali and Manasarovar in China, you must have experienced what is called altitude sickness. What is this altitude sickness? Have you ever experienced that? I would like to know. Have you ever experienced that? Have you experienced what is called altitude sickness? Have I mentioned about this altitude sickness that I got experienced? Come on, Vismita, Namrata, Jyoti.
No, sir.
No. I hope I do not remember because I meet a lot of students. I got experience of this altitude sickness when I underwent basic mountaineering training at Uttarakhand. It was basic mountaineering training. I hope you may be aware. If at all you want to get certificate from the government of India for climbing Everest, you must undergo two types of training. One is basic mountaineering training, another one is advanced mountaineering training. There are two types of training. If at all you are interested, any boys or girls, you please remember. If you are interested to climb Himalayas, say Everest or any such a peak in Himalayas, and you wanted it to be officially recorded in the Gazetteer of India, you must undergo two types of training: basic mountaineering training, advanced mountaineering training. I underwent this training when I was 38-year-old. And during that time, I had to live at different heights of Himalayas for 28 days. And this training was given by military people, ex-servicemen, and this training was given through central government of India, through its institution. That means one of the institutions where I have undergone training was Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttarakhand. We are trained there. Of course, first they do the physical fitness checkup. What is the physical fitness checkup? They will give you a time. Very first day. The previous day night you get admitted there. The very next day morning you will be asked to run. We will not be knowing where we are going to run. They make you to run through a hillock, and make you to come down within a stipulated time. If at all you get through that is the first basic test about our physical fitness to get admitted to the course. Of course, I got selected in that. At that time, officially, I have successfully climbed 14,000 feet. Unofficially, it was 16,000 feet because we have climbed just another 2,000 feet above because climate condition was very favorable. Otherwise, beyond 60,000 feet, if at all you want to go in Himalayan mountains, necessarily you have to carry oxygen cylinder on your back. Fine, I underwent that. At the beginning, when you start climbing the different heights of Himalayas, after up to 12,000, you don't feel much problem because up to 12,000 you see lot of trees, greeneries will be there. In the place where we were asked to move, that place is called Draupadika Danda. This is what the Himalayan, that particular peak is called. We, after 12,000 feet of height, absolutely at that time, when I underwent this training, when I got admitted to this training in the 1990s, absolutely at that time, there was no trees beyond 12,000 feet. The importance of these trees you will get realized only at that time. Wherever you see only snow. Throughout, wherever you see this side, that side, all around you only mountains with snow. Everywhere. At that time, as you go higher and higher in a mountain, one, you don't see greeneries. Two, as you don't see much greeneries, I hope you may be knowing the oxygen partial pressure comes down. You will not get adequate oxygen as you go up. You start developing some breathing problem. Many times you may have to open your mouth. Right? And you start developing nausea, a sort of vomiting sensation. You develop a headache. You start developing a running nose. Virtually, you start hearing your own heartbeat. It becomes so difficult that you start getting the feeling of For what great purpose we have come over here? Why that we have to subject our body to this much of stress? You know, when we undergo this training, it is not a simple walk. You will be on the back of your body in a huge rucksack, tenting materials, ropes, sometimes gas cylinders, tents, different items, rock climbing gadgets, all this, and besides that, you are permitted to have only one pair of dress, one inner garment on your body, one inner garment in your rucksack. That's all. And you will be wearing at that time ice boot with the spikes on that. These boot together it comes to about 3 to 4 kgs. You are wearing such heavy boot. You will be having ice axe in your hand. And sometimes you will be having this overcoat to avoid chilling cold. With all this material you are climbing. Because of all this, nausea, headache, running nose, absolutely you will not be having appetite. You don't get energy at all. And more than that, you will be guarded and guided and supervised by military people. If at all we walk slow, they start to scolding us. They make us to come up, run fast, move fast. Even to cover a distance of about 10 meters, you take sometimes half an hour of time. Why? Do you know why? You can't put the step immediately without testing it. What is there? Is it hard? Is it hollow? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
So this is the condition. At many places, you see that there is a snow, but just beneath that, there will be sometimes streams, rivers, hollow area. You have to just beat your ice axe and see that whether it's hard or soft. Then you have to put your foot. At some places, you know the condition of these mountains, you will see that the temperature to fluctuate from sub-zero, sometimes -5, -10 to 30 plus, 40 plus, 45 plus. Within a day, you are subjected to such extremes of temperature. Early morning, at about 4 o'clock, you see that where you are walking is very hard. Just like you are walking on the rock. By 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you start feeling that you are walking on the sand or little bit hard soil area. By 8, 9 o'clock, you feel that it is very sandy, just like the deserts. Then at about 10 o'clock, up to your ankle it will go in. By 11 o'clock, Your foot will go inside up to your knee level. If at all you put one foot, it goes that much deep. If at all you have to put another step, you have to pull the first foot. Wherever you have put the left foot, if you don't want to put the right foot forward, you have to pull the left foot from knee level. Are you understanding my point?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the idea how it will be? It is so interesting that, just a minute. Can you see? Hello?
Yes, sir.
What you are seeing?
A person walking on the snow.
Yeah, this is what the condition there. Of course, here it is not see here. Can see this? Luckily, his foot is not going deep. Otherwise, your foot will go to the level of knee. Sometimes, can you see the slope here? Can you make out the slope? You may feel that it is so easy. Literally, when I was undergoing this training, I was in tears. See here, can you make it out? To just to walk 10 meters, sometimes for each and every step you should see that it is hard there. It is hard there. Because at many places you come across what is called, you come across glaciers. Of course, these are all in different places. I have to show someone. This like this. You'll be seeing this snow, just beneath that there will be water. It is so dangerous. Every step you have to be very much careful. And this is the condition. And many times I have felt I made a biggest blunder by coming to this training. And that too, unfortunately, the team where I underwent this training, I was only the person with the 38 years and all other guys were of 18 years, 18, 90 years. On many days, I literally wept. I literally wept. So, but my dream was to make it. And fortunately or unfortunately, I did not get, sorry, I did not get A grade in that particular training. Getting A grade, A certificate was mandatory to just go for next level, that is advanced training. I was not selected. So I have to stop my dream of climbing Himalayas with that only. So this is what. Its symptoms include nausea, fatigueness, heart palpitation, like that. Not only that. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Whenever this oxygen partial pressure is low, your mind will not work properly. You start becoming half mad. Many times I used to get the feeling whom I am, why I was born, what is death, what is father, what is mother, what is wife, what all these. why we should live? All such feelings just started coming to my mind. If at all that feeling had come to my mind, a family member, you imagine, if at all the saints want to go to Himalaya, definitely it is the most ideal place for them because our mind will not aspire for anything. We will be beyond a certain some point. And that was the condition. And many times mind will not work. You will not be knowing why you are talking that. Many times the fellow trekkers used to quarrel for silly reason, right? This is because in a low atmospheric pressure of high altitude, the body does not get enough oxygen. But gradually you get acclimatized and stop experiencing altitude sickness. But it takes a lot of time. Later, gradually, our body gets conditioned to that. This is what you say the physiological adaptation. How did your body solve this problem? Because this is what I wanted to show you. Rohtang Pass near Manali. See how much snow got settled on the road. There, if at all snowfall is there, road gets blocked. Just like here, in some places in North India, you come across what is called a landslide. In throughout the North India, there is a very common problem. Landslide. You go any places. I visited a lot of places in the North India. Everywhere. I have moved in Himachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya. In all these places, you do have one or other problem. West Bengal, Darjeeling, in all these places, these problems always crop up. Right? See, this is what happened. The mountain from great resistance. The body compensates low oxygen. How? This is very important paragraph, very important sentence. The body compensates low oxygen availability by increasing red blood cell production. Automatically, the red blood cell production increases, decreases the binding affinity of hemoglobin, and by increasing breathing rate. I told you, no? One nose will not be sufficient. We have to increase breathing rate. Many tribes live in the high altitude of Himalayas. God only knows how they are managing that. You cannot, even if at all you are given free land there, no, you cannot. You feel like running away from the place. Find out if they normally have a higher red blood cell count. Yes, their way of living is different. Their physiological adaptations are different. You wanted to see them? This is what you see. Tribal people. Right? So, in most animals, any doubt you have? Anywhere? Any points? Pancha Pandavas? Who are these? Pancha Pandavas? Come on. Chinmayi, Vishwas, Harshavardhan, Sarvottam. Who is else? Who is one more? Hello? Are you hearing me? Chinmayi?
Sir,
Chinmayi?
Arjuna, Bhima,
Hey, I am asking yourself, who are these five members yourself? Chinmayi, Harshavardhan,
Charan, sir,
Charan, Bhima.
Siddesh.
Six members are there? Are you five member or six member?
Six, sir, six.
Six. Then I have to add Karna also there. Okay. So have you understood this? Any doubt?
No, sir, no.
No. But there are microbes. In most animals, the metabolic reactions, hence all the physiological functions, proceed optimally in a narrow temperature range. What is the range? 30 centigrade or how much Fahrenheit? Rafa?
Yes, sir.
What is the Fahrenheit? Body temperature?
98.6.
98.6 degree Fahrenheit. So in most animals, the metabolic reactions and hence all the physiological functions proceed optimally in a narrow temperature range, that is 37 degrees centigrade. You know, if at all, your body temperature from 98.6 degree Fahrenheit, if at all it raises to 101, you start feeling discomfort, you start feeling no taste, just 2-3 degree variation, it makes us to suffer. But there are microbes, archaebacteria, that flourish in hot springs and deep sea hydrothermal vents where temperature far exceed 100 degrees centigrade. How is this possible? They get adapted. Many fish thrive in Antarctic waters where the temperature is always below zero. Many fishes live where the temperature is below zero, sub-zero. They maintain their inner biochemical adaptation you come across. A large variety of marine invertebrates and fish live at great depths in the ocean where the pressure could be greater than 100 times the normal atmosphere pressure that we experience. You know, as you go deeper and deeper in the water, there will be more and more pressure getting exerted on the body of the animal. Are you aware? Even though one may be very good in swimming, if I only ask him, okay, I have a vessel, it has been fallen to the well, would you please get me that vessel from the well? He may not come forward for two reasons. One, as he goes deeper and deeper, he should have the ability to come back with holding a respiration. Within a stipulated time, he should come back, otherwise he'll get drowned there. And more than that, when one goes deeper and deeper, there will be more and more pressure getting exerted in the body also. That's why, even if one is very good in swimming, he cannot go deep in the water. How do animals live under such a crushing pressures, and do they have any special enzyme? Yes, we do come across some sort of a biochemical adaptation. Organisms living in such extreme environments show a fascinating area for biochemical adaptation. Some organisms also show behavioral responses to cope with the variations in their environment. What is this behavioral response? Desert lizards lack the physiological ability that mammals have to deal with high temperature of their habitat, but manage to keep their body temperature fairly constant by behavioral means. In mammals and birds, they do have their own way of maintaining constant temperature. But desert lizards which live in the desert, how they manage? What is condition in desert? Scorching sunlight from above, burning sand from below. What is that? Sarottam, scorching sunlight from above, burning sand from beneath. You imagine what will be the condition? You imagine a roti tawa, your gas burner is heating from below. And if it all such a tawa is kept in very much hot sunlight, like that a desert condition. In that condition, a desert lizard or many of the desert animals have to live. How they manage? They have their own way. They bask in the sun and absorb heat when their body temperature drops below the comfort zone. You know, in early morning, in the early morning, when the temperature is very low, what these animals do? Please know one thing, in all these 5 kilothermic animals, cold-blooded animals, like your snake, let me give the example of snake. If at all you are scared of a snake, you are scared very much about the snake, please make it a point. If at all you go to any village, if at all you are scared of snakes, you don't want to come back from the village, which is in some remote place, and you have the fear of a snake, don't come at night. Don't walk at night. Early morning, if at all you wake up at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, at whatever time, you start walking, no snake will be there outside coming in your way. Why? In the early morning, most of the snakes will be there inside the burrow. But when the sun rises, say about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, that 8 to 9 o'clock, these snakes gradually come out and expose their body to sunlight and see that their body temperature comes up. So they bask in the sun and absorb heat when their body temperature drops below the comfort zone, but move into the shade when the ambient temperature starts increasing. Ambient temperature means environmental temperature. If at all it's very high temperature, at that time they just go to crevices, they just go to shady places and remain inside. Some species are capable of burrowing into the soil to hide and escape from the above ground heat. Let me just show you. Right? Can you see here? This is the desert lizard. We can see how much sunlight is there. You see the shadow of that. And what they do? During this very much hot condition, this is what one of the behavior it is shown by this lizard. What is doing? Namrata? Is it dancing? What are you
No,
doing?
sir.
It is,
Sunbathing.
it is lifting its leg. It is very hot and it is moving its leg. One leg brandishes it and makes it to get cool. When this leg is cool, it changes, it takes rest now with another leg and brandishes this leg. Okay, makes it to get cool. And when it's over, it lifts the hind leg, one of the hind legs. Next, another hind legs. You see its tail has gone up. It is to avoid that getting heated from below. Like that, it shows a little bit of a behavioral change to just avoid this effect of the extremes of temperature. See, in this, one of the lizard has put its body entirely in some of the damp soil to just avoid the burning, scorching sunlight. This is what another. So in this way, you come across behavioral adaptations shown by that of the lizard. This is the same. Okay, now let us go to population. Any doubt? Savitri, Tanusri,
No, sir.
Nadira, Viswita,
No, sir.
No, sir.
Namrata, Jyoti,
No, sir.
No, sir.
Kanisa, Blessy,
No,
Aisha, Navya.
No, sir. No,
Navya,
sir.
Navya, how many girls from your college?
Kanasa.
Kanisa, Aisha, Blessy,
Janani.
Blessy, Janani, Panchakanikir. Janani,
Rafa. Kavita.
Rafa. Kanisa, Aisha, Rafa, Janani, Navya, Blessy.
Kavita.
Huh?
Kavita.
Blessy, Kavita. 7. Sat sisters. Okay. Have you understood Kavita? Kavita? Kavita is not there. Hi, Kavi. No. Janani?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
No. Lohit? Lohit? Prithviraj?
Yes, sir.
Rakesh?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now let us look at the populations. Population attribute. What is population? Who will tell me what is the difference between population and community? What is the difference between population and community? Come on. Come on. What is the difference between population and community? Rakesh. Rakesh,
Yes, sir.
what is the difference between population and community? Prithvi,
Community means only one type of people living together in one single place.
population?
Population means everybody living in one place. All communities.
Anyone gives better definition? Jyoti,
Yes, sir.
what is population and community? I have told about this in my very first class. Come on, seven sisters. Anyone? Hello. Come on, five sisters. Nadira, Vispita, Tanusri, Jayasri, Savitri. Hello? You don't know? Can you say?
Sir, uh, do group of population form a community, sir?
So what is population, what is community?
Community like group of population, two or more population.
And population?
Group of species.
Who is telling this?
Blessy.
Blessy, you are right. Population is a group of interbreeding animals. We say human population. Is it that in a human population? Are we including your chimpanzee, gorilla, orangutan, gibbon? No. Human population, cat population, dog population, crow population, bird population. You have population is a group of animals, group of organisms of the same species which generally interbreed. Community is a group of different species. In one particular forest area, you don't have a community to include the tiger, the deer, the wolf, the different species of birds, different species of snakes, different species of amphibians, all these are community. So coming back here, in nature, we rarely find isolated single individuals of any species. Why? 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 We rarely find isolated single individuals of any species. Single individual of any species? No. If at all you want to see one individual, single individual of any species, there must be its parents. So, majority of them live in groups in a well-defined geographical area, share or compete for similar resources, potentially interbreed, and thus constitute a population. So, population is a group of organisms potentially interbreed. Although the term interbreeding implies sexual reproduction, a group of individuals resulting from even a sexual reproduction also constitute the population. Not that the population means it should breed only by sexual reproduction. Even if at all you have one banana plant, if at all you go there, after about 5 years, you see that a good number of banana plants grow there, not by sexual reproduction, even by asexual reproduction. All the cormorants in a wetland, rats in abandoned dwelling, teakwood trees in a forested tract, bacteria in a culture plate, and a lotus plant in a pond are some examples of a population. Blessy,
Yes, sir.
have you seen cormorant?
What, sir?
Have you seen cormorant?
No, sir.
No. Navya?
No, sir.
Anyone has seen this cormorant? Cormorant is simply called in Kannada. What is this? Janani?
ನೀರು ಕಾಗೆ
ನೀರು ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ
I've seen, sir.
Who has seen?
Bless you, sir.
How that you could see now?
I didn't know the English version name, sir.
This is a common one. You make it a point while going back from your college, start seeing up. Don't see that's a design. From which place you are coming?
Uchila, sir.
Huh?
Uchila, sir.
Uchila near Kapu.
Yes, sir.
In between Kapu and Yermal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know Uchila very much. So you do have there this cormorant. Okay, so the cormorants are very present. Navya, don't say that I have not seen. Have you seen this one? At least?
Yes, sir.
Good, thank you. So, these are rats in the abandoned dwelling. There is a place which is abandoned, it is left out as such. Teakwood trees in a forest right, bacteria in culture plate, lotus plant in a pond are all some examples of population. In earlier chapters, you have learned that although an individual organism is the one that has to cope with the changed environment, it is at the population level that the natural selection operates to evolve the desired trait. What does it mean? You know, as far as evolution is concerned, we are always looking at the population level, not at the individual level. So it is very important that at the population level, the natural selection operates. Population ecology is therefore an important area of ecology because it links ecology to population genetics and evolution. Population ecology is the study of population in terms of ecosystem. A population has a certain attributes that an individual organism does not. Population has a certain characters or qualities, whereas individual organism does not. What is this? An individual may have birth and death, but a population has birth rate and death rate. You must know the difference between birth and death, birth and birth rate, death and death rate. Always the terms birth and death refers to individual organism. Birth rate and death rate always refers to population. I will make it very clear with an example. So remember, term birth and death. That person died, this animal died, that animal is born, this animal is born. That is with reference to individual. Whenever we say birth rate, we don't say birth rate of an individual. We say birth rate of the population, death rate of the population. In what way this birth, death are different from birth rate and death rate, we shall see. In a population, these rates, birth rate or death rate, refer to per capita birth and death respectively. Per capita birth, per capita death. What is this per capita birth, per capita death? We shall study. The rates, hence expressed is change in the number, increase or decrease with respect to members of population. So always you should remember birth rate, death rate, always refers to change in the numbers with respect to the members of population. Now let us look at an example. Okay, if in a pond, listen to me very carefully. If in a pond there are 20 lotus plants last year, and through reproduction, 8 new plants are added. There were 20. 8 new plants are added, taking the current population to 28. It was earlier 20. 8 plants are added, and now it has become 28. If you calculate the birth rate is calculated as 8 out of 20 is equal to 0.4 offspring per lotus per year. Whenever you ask what is the birth rate of lotus in that particular area, in that particular area per year, we refer it as 0.4 offspring is the birth rate per lotus per year. Now, my question to you, Rafa, what do you mean by
Yes, sir.
0.4 birth per one individual? Is it possible? Is it possible to have birth of 0.4? Even of any particular plant or animal is there, birth means it should be in terms of 1 or 2. What is 0.4 birth? No. That means, if at all you say that there are 20 lotus plants, 8 lotus plants are added, 8 lotus plants are added now, new plants are added. That means, among these 20 lotus plants, is it that how many of them have added new plant? No. 8 new plants are added means among these 20 lotus plants, 8 lotus plants might have given rise to these 8 new plants. But at the rate of, at the population level, we refer it to as 8 new plants are added per 20 plants for 20 plants. So birth rate is calculated as 8 out of 20 is equal to 0.4. If 4 individuals in a laboratory population of 40 fruit fly die during a specific time interval, say a week, the death rate in the population during that week is 0.40 is equal to 0.1 individual per fruit fly per week. So always we compare birth rate, death rate, always per population and not for individual. Have you understood this? Aisha,
Yes, sir.
Tanusri,
Yes, sir.
Kavita,
Yes, sir.
where were you? I called your name before.
I
Can
was
you
late, sir.
Huh?
I was late, sir.
Why?
I was joining in another link, sir.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, sir.
So this is what you have. Have you followed this? Charan, Siddesh,
Yes, sir, understood.
Harshavardhan, Vishwas, Charan, Harshavardhan,
Yes, sir.
Vishwas,
Yes, sir.
Chinmay,
Yes, sir. Understood.
who is here? Sarottam,
Yes, sir.
who is left here? Who is one more? Who is another guy here? Harshavardhan.
Yes, sir.
Who is one more guy? Who is another boy here? Charan, Chinmay, Harshavardhan, Siddesh, Vishwas,
Sarvotam, sir.
Sarvottam.
Sir.
Sarvottam is here.
Yes, sir.
And 6, who is the another one?
Siddesh.
Siddesh Sarvottam. Okay, right. Okay. Is it clear, everyone? Another attribute characteristic of population's sex ratio. An individual is either a male or a female, but a population has a sex ratio always represented as this much of percentage of male and this much of percentage female. We always say population, not a total this much number. Whenever we mention a population, we say for this much of male, here we have this much of female. Right? You know, I have already told you there was 934 females for 1000 males in 2001 census, and there were 943 females for 1000 males in 2010 census, and now we learned that it has come very much nearer to equal in 2020-22 population census. It is yet to be done. A population at any given time is composed of individuals of different ages. If the age distribution, percent individuals of a given age or age group is plotted for the population, the resulting structure is called an age pyramid. What is this age pyramid? Always ask about one more question. If at all you just take the animals of different age and plot it on a graph, you will always get at the bottom one particular box, above that little bit narrow, above that little bit small, and this gives you the picture of approximately a pyramid. For human population, the age pyramid generally show age distribution of males and females in a combined diagram. As I told you, with regard to the population number, we say this much of female to this much of male. But as far as the pyramid is concerned, it is a combined diagram. The shape of the pyramid reflects the growth status of the population. 4 months question. The shape of the pyramid reflects the growth status of the population, whether it's growing, whether it's stable, whether it's declining. We have three types of pyramid as far as the human population age is concerned. What are these? This is what representation of the age pyramid for human population. This is expanding. This is stable. This is declining. You do come across here three sets of human beings. Human beings are categorized into three groups based on their age. One is pre-reproductive. Another one is reproductive. And one more is post-reproductive. Post-reproductive. What do you mean by this? Pre-reproductive, reproductive, post-reproductive. Aisha, what do you mean by these three groups? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me?
Yeah, sir. Younger generation, and the other one is the one which can reproduce, and the other one is older generation.
You belong to which generation?
Reproductive.
No.
Pre-reproductive.
Yes. Rafa,
Yes, sir.
you belong to which group?
The reproductive.
How you say that it is post-reproductive, reproductive? Then who belongs to post-reproductive?
Elderly people. Those who
Elderly
have reached
people.
old age.
Pardon?
Those who have reached old age.
Those who have reached old age. Do you think that a man reaches post-reproductive condition? I hope you have learned that man can produce these sperms. He will be in a position to produce these sperms till he goes to deathbed. Do you consider him as a post-reproductive group? Elderly man, grandpa, pre-reproductive. As far as women is concerned, you can say pre-reproductive prior to prior to Rafa,
Menarche.
menarche. Reproductive,
After the period between menarche and menopause.
post-reproductive,
After menopause.
after menopause. In case of women, there is a clear-cut demarcation. In case of men, pre-reproductive goes to the children below the age of 10. Reproductive, right from the day of the spermiation, or right from the day of the production of semen, up to what is the reproductive age? In case of man, the sperm production will be there till he goes to a deathbed. But generally, if you consider this post-reproductive, reproductive, pre-reproductive, we can categorize in another way. That is, pre-reproductive means those who have not married. Reproductive means those who got married and leading family life. Fourth reproductive means those who have stopped producing the children. That means voluntarily. Many of your parents, they might have already taken the decision. Yes, especially I'm sure your parents. Is it that your parents are going to produce any children? No, anymore. Navya, would you like to have your mother to have another baby?
No, sir.
No, I'm sure they are not going for that. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So Navya, where you are going to put your parents here?
Post-reproductive.
Post-reproductive. Now let us say that your parents, some of your parents, have not reached menopause. Have not reached menopause. Do you consider in the reproductive group or post-reproductive group? Where you would like to place? They are still not reached menopause. Can you put it in reproductive? But they have thought of not having any more children.
Post-reproductive.
Post-reproductive. Therefore, you cannot go by. When you said Aisha, when you said, who is that another said? Aisha, I asked this question to Rafa.
Yes,
Even
sir.
though you are capable of reproduction now, as far as the maturity is concerned, you belong to
Pre-reproductive.
because you are not married now, because you are not reproducing now. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So this you cannot go by maturity. Aisha answered this question by looking to maturity. Am I right, Aisha?
Yes, sir.
Aisha.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But it is not on maturity, it is on practicability. So I would like to put Aisha, I would like to put Rafa in a pre-reproductive stage here. And reproductive, those who have already married and still producing the children, still thinking about having the children, reproductive. Those who have already thought not to have children anymore, but they are belong to post-reproductive. If you consider that, then you have three types of boxes here. Most of them are of pre-reproductive, then you come across the reproductive, then the least of them are post-reproductive. This is what you have the age pyramid at present in India. You know, in India, now most of you are below the age of 35. 65% of the population in India, 65% population in India are belonging to the age group of below 35. You, including you. This is expanding age pyramid. And here if you see, it is almost stable, not much variation, stable. And here it's declining. See, even though it is more tomorrow, this will come. And declining is generally like this. declining. Right? Exactly not declining. So there are three types of age pyramid. In the expanding age pyramid, the pre-reproductive group is bigger than reproductive group is bigger than post-reproductive. In stable, almost they are of the same size. And in declining, the post-reproductive group is bigger than the reproductive group is bigger than that of the pre-reproductive group. Okay? Right? Understood? Is it clear, Sarvottam, Siddesh,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Charan, Chinmayi,
Yes, sir.
Vishwas, Harshvardhan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nadira,
Yes, sir.
are you in a mood to listen to the lecture?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The size of population tells us a lot about its status in habitat. Whatever ecological processes we wish to investigate in a population, be it the outcome of competition with another species, the impact of a predator, or the effect of a pesticide application, we always evaluate them in terms of any change in the population size. Always, population size gets affected by the predator or pesticide application, whatever we apply in the cropland. The size in nature could be as low as a 10, lesser than 10 Siberian crane at Bharatpur wetland, or going to millions covered monosyllable pond. Population size, more technically called population density, need not necessarily be measured in numbers only. Is it that always to know the population size, we have to count the number? Is it possible to count the number? No. Now I have a question to all of you open. I want you to come and tell me whether the fish population is increased or decreased in a particular pond or a lake. How you can give me that? I wanted you to find out. I'll give you a time. You tell me right from today for another 2 3 years. I want you to report. Now we have this particular pond with the fishes. You tell me whether the population of fish increases in number or decreases in number from this year to another 3 years. Come on, you do that. How you are going to tell me? How you are going to tell me?
If no one will take the
Come
fishes
on.
from there, sir, if no one will take the fishes from there, they will reproduce and they'll increase.
I want, and that is okay, but I wanted that if no one, I don't want, I am not police, I can't give you any police people to see that. I want you to tell me somehow, taking all that, who has said it? Rafa?
Yes, sir.
Rafa,
Yes, sir.
how can I prevent Rafa from catching a fish? The freshwater fishes are more tasteful, and Rafa likes a fish than anything that is chicken or mutton. Am I right, Rafa?
No, sir.
You like a chicken more?
Yes, sir.
Chicken more. Mutton? Still more?
No, I don't eat mutton.
You always should eat fish rather than chicken. Okay, come on. Now I don't know whether Rafa is interested, Rafa is going to catch or someone is, Navya is going to catch it. I don't know. I want you to report it to me. How you are going to do? Anyone? Vismita?
Yes,
I
sir.
want you to find out whether the fish population in the Mattu ocean is increasing or decreasing. Vismita, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Panna, can you? What we have to do? Prithvi, Rakesh, what we have to do? How we can do? It is not possible, Rafa?
It is, sir.
Then tell me, it is possible that, see, this is the Siberian crane. If it is such a big bird is there, we can tell that population, you can literally count. We can tell whether it increases or decreases. This is what the Siberian cranes flying. Climadomonas? Now, although total number is generally the most appropriate measure of population density, it is in some cases either meaningless or difficult to determine. Sometimes finding the number is not at all required. It is not essential at all. For example, now let us think that in an area there are 2000 Parthenium plants. Have you seen Parthenium plants? Blessy,
No, sir.
Janisa,
No, sir.
you have not seen Parthenium plant at all? Good. Every field has a Parthenium, remember. If there are 200, I will show you. I will show you Parthenium plants. If there are 200 Parthenium plants, but only a single huge banyan tree with a large canopy, stating that the population density of a banyan is low, related to that of a Parthenium, amounts to underestimating the enormous role of the banyan in that community. You know, have you heard about the banyan tree? Have you heard about banyan tree?
Yes, sir.
Who said yes?
Rafa.
Rafa, what you call it in Kannada?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know. Who has seen it?
Aladamara.
Who has seen? Yeah. And now I am showing you, this is what you have. What is this? Banyan tree. We are telling that there is only one banyan tree. There are thousands of Parthenium plants. It's a weed. Good for nothing. Good for nothing. Have you not seen this type of a weed, Kanisa?
Yes, sir.
Kanisa, you ask your dad or mom, Mom, please show me Parthenium plant. Have you seen this, Namrata? Jyoti? No?
Yes, sir.
This is a nonsense weed. You are troubled very much. There is no place without this weed in India. Remember. So this is of no use. Utterly useless for any purpose. Telling that there are hundreds and there are thousands of Parthenium plants in me and only one banyan tree. It is of meaningless. So, in such cases, the percent cover of a biomass, the percent cover or biomass is a more meaningful measure of the population size. So, gigantic tree, a big tree in a population, that in population ecology, that has more important role than thousands of useless weeds. Total number is again not an easily adaptable measure. If the population is huge and counting is impossible, as I told you, Rafa, as I told Aisha, can you tell me whether the population of the fish has increased or not? Let me tell you, Rafa. Let me tell you,
Yes, sir.
Aisha. You are going, I have given you a task. What is that? You have a pond and you are going there. And I want for the another 2-3 years, you have to report me whether the population of this fish increased or decreased. What you have to do? Go in the month of August, put net there 10 times in the month and get the fish, measure in terms of tons, weigh them in terms of tons and note it. Next year again, go in the month of August, put on the same dates 10 times this fish net, collect the fish, weigh them, record it. Third year, go there, do the same business and record them. Don't you think that you can say that whether it is increased or decreased? Hello?
Yes, sir.
But we are telling that whenever you wanted to know that population increased or decreased, I said in the beginning, always it need not be on the basis of number. Need not. For the young one, any yardstick. So now let us see what is done here. Sometimes for certain ecological investigations, there is no need to know the absolute population density. Relative density serves the purpose. Relative density, last time it was this much, this time it is this much. So we say that it is increased or decreased. For instance, number of fish caught per trap is good enough measure of its population density in the lake. We are mostly obliged to estimate population sizes indirectly. Need not. Is it that I am giving the task to these 6 brothers of Ananda Tirtha? I want you to find out whether this tiger population in Someshwar Wildlife Sanctuary or Kudemukh National Park area increased or decreased. You need not go 7 brothers, 6 brothers. You need not go in search of the tiger. See that, oh, tiger number 1, another tiger 2. No, indirectly you can do that. How you will do that? How you will do that? We mostly oblige you to estimate population size indirectly without actually counting them or seeing them. Is it that the tiger is going to yellow you? If you want to see and count, come on, my 7 brothers, 6 brothers, 6 brothers of Ananda Tirtha. How you are going to do? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sarotam, Charan Chinmayi,
Yes, sir.
Vishwas, Harshvardhan. What
Yes,
will
sir.
what will do? The tiger census, national parks and tiger reserves is often based on pug marks or fecal pellets. What do you mean by pug mark? Sarotam, what do you mean by pug mark? Harshvardhan, what do you mean by pug mark? Vishwas, pug mark is nothing but, is nothing but the steps mark. It is the steps. It is the marks of its food. Look here. Can you see here? This is the tiger pug mark. Tiger pug mark of male versus a tiger pug mark of female. If you know a boy or girl walks on this ground, sometimes you can say whose step is of boys and whose step is of girl. Is it possible? If not with your barefoot, let us say that with the chappal. Can you make it out? Nadira,
Yes, sir.
can you make out the footstep of a boy and girl? Sometimes it is possible. So here, the pug mark of a male looks totally different from the female. You have to just go in such a pug mark, put a plaster of Paris there, you'll get the model and you take the photo and keep it. And you can say this is of one. And pug mark differs from individual to individual. So can you do that? Can you count it? Can you say?
Yes, sir.
You need not go in front of the tiger and see count. Who will be having that much of guts? Of course, for tiger population census, now camera trap is used. Its photo is taken by the tiger itself. When the tiger comes to a particular place to drink water during summer season, a camera is adjusted in such a way when it is going to just drink water, it steps a board and there will be some gadget. When it steps on that gadget, the string, when it's pressed, it makes the camera to take the photo there itself. The tiger is going to take its own photo by pressing that particular wooden plank, and beneath that there will be a button to just press it. So in this way, it can be taken. Or if not possible, we can go for fecal matter, what is called feces. Feces. So this is otherwise called as scat. Scat. So by looking into the feces, by looking into the fecal matter, can't you tell that whether it is of a deer or whether it is of elephant? Prithvi, can you tell whether it is a fecal matter of deer or elephant? Prithviraj, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you differentiate the fecal matter of deer from elephant? You have not seen? So I have not seen the elephant fecal matter. I have not seen the deer fecal matter. Are you going to tell like that? Prithviraj,
Yes, sir.
can you make out the fecal matter of a rat and that of cow?
Yes, sir.
We can make out. How? How?
Size will be different.
Huh?
Size will be different.
Size will be different. Okay, like that you can make out the fecal matter difference between the deer and elephant, and you can tell that it's the population of deer and it's population of elephant. Okay? Okay, I shall stop it here. I will continue population growth in my next class of tomorrow morning. Okay? See you. Bye.